financial gain you're saying is less important than the lessons you learn. I could not agree more. Like I talk about this a lot in real estate. Like our last guest, Jake Rosenthal, he's another GoBundance guy. You might know him. He and I were talking about like you almost always lose money or barely make money or like don't do very well in your first real estate deal. Like that's how most people
Yeah.
are. And it doesn't get talked about enough. So some people just walk away and quit, right? But the thing is like you actually now are armed with an insane amount of education. Even if you lost a little money, now is the time to step forward and keep going. Like sometimes I think it's hard to shift your mind, especially if it's been a loss of some kind or a challenging time, to be like, you know what? Actually, now I have way more knowledge and education than I did before. So I'm really glad you highlighted that. And then the other thing you said was people invest in you. And that's exactly right. Like my suspicion is even if you lost some investor money, they probably understood the crazy situation that was very unpredictable. And my guess is a lot of those investors would come back to you and say, yeah, let's do it again because they'll invest in you. It's never the deal. So if you're raising capital, the deal needs to work, right? Like the numbers need to be there, but end of the day, people are investing in you. And that's why integrity and honesty and all those things are so important because people are investing in you, right? Like you didn't lose their money on purpose. If you lost it, I'm just assuming you didn't like have to close down on purpose. Of course, it was totally out of your control. You do everything in your power. And I love your story about finding other people jobs, man. That's really like a stand-up thing to do. Because lots of people lost their positions in COVID and it was like, see ya, good luck. You know?
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
lots to say about that, but I just wanted to highlight those things.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I think when I think about what I do now and the company that I've got now and the mission that we're on now, it's hard to forge a mindset in quicksand, right? It's hard to forge something strong in something that's constantly like falling. And also, if you are interested in building a really strong mindset, you had better be ready for change and challenge. And what better circumstances to look at than uh, several different institutions that collapsed. We can look at historical evidence of banks collapsing. We could look at the buyouts of major car companies. Like these things, they happen. Things break, things burn. But when we look at the way that we feel about our thoughts and our challenges and our things, I think we over magnify these things to the like tenfold. Like if a GMC needs a buyout, if Fannie Mae needs a buy, like these are big organizations with gigantic problems and millions of people affected. If they can figure it out, I think we can probably figure out our problems. But that mindset takes a couple of hard knocks before you get to a place where you're just like, okay, tough things are going to happen.